However, according to the Attorney General, documents were found on December 20th in his garage in Wilmington. Why was that not immediately addressed? Is the White House being transparent about that if that was already known and not discussed up front?
So you said transparent. I want to say that we have been transparent here. That is why the minute that his lawyers found those documents.
The review was underway when the president spoke about the first set of documents. You're now saying that you didn't talk about the second set of documents discovered almost a month prior because a review was underway. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
the review was underway the entire time. The only difference was that reporters had information on the first set of documents, and therefore you chose to exclude the second set of documents until reporters got information on the second set of documents.
Well, to kick this off, we're going to catch her in a lie right off the bat, you guys. We got this reporter kicking off the briefing, talking about the second set of classified documents that were found in Joe Biden's garage. He goes a little bit quick here, so I need to kind of set you up with what's taking place and kind of what was the lie. So yesterday we covered the briefing as well that was about the first set of classified documents that were found in his office. Now, they knew about the second set of classified documents during that briefing, and they neglected to tell anybody about it whatsoever. And now they're all questioning her on it. And boy, oh boy, is this one a doozy, just kicking it off. And like I said, we got a lot packaged for you in today, folks. Get that coffee, get that breakfast, because we're in for the long haul. Let's go ahead and roll it.
So a few questions about the classified documents. First off, is the president willing to be interviewed by federal investigators about his handling of classified documents?
So first, let me just say I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals. This is something for the Department of.
Not a hypothetical question. There's an investigation ongoing. Will the president speak to
But
investigation?
it's in ongoing review, right? You're asking me about something in the future, and I am telling you that I'm not going to get ahead of what the Department of Justice is going to decide. Look, I want to reiterate what you heard from the president today. It is important for the American people to know this. Is that the president has said he takes classified documents and information very seriously. This is something, as you all know, that he will not shy away from saying, and has continued to say this week.
You guys, you can't say that you're taking or you do take classified material seriously when they were in your garage. It's like Trump coming out and going, I take it super seriously. These are the most classified things that's ever walked the face of this earth. It's so serious. Okay, it's like nuclear serious. And then they find him in his sock drawer. All right, you're not taking things seriously if they're in your sock drawer or your freaking garage. All right, don't give us this crap. So the lying's already starting right off the bat.
And again, he was surprised that these records have been found. He does not know what's in them. And his team, once they identified that these documents were there, they immediately reached out to the archives, to the Department of Justice, and did the right thing by turning that over. And they have been cooperating very closely with the Department of Justice. You actually heard AG, Attorney General Garland, say today that they heard from his team really shortly after the discovery. And so, I just want to make sure that this is understood, that he takes this very seriously.
So speaking of him taking this seriously, this is the kind of thing that can cause government employees to lose a security clearance. This is a serious matter, as the White House has said. Was the president sloppy in his handling of classified material if there are multiple locations where classified documents are being found?
Look, I said it in the statement. It's in the statement from his lawyer, Richard Sauber. And at the end, he said, we are confident that a thorough review will show that these documents were inadvertently misplaced. And the president and his lawyers acted promptly upon discovery of this mistake. I'm going to leave it there. That's what his lawyer said. But again, this is something that the president takes very seriously, and we have been coordinating. They have been coordinating. His lawyers have been coordinating very closely with the Department of Justice.
The last thing is, the initial statement from the White House came out on Monday. The president addressed this on Tuesday in Mexico City. All the conversation was about the documents in the office. However, according to the Attorney General, documents were found on December 20th in his garage in Wilmington. Why was that not immediately addressed? Is the White House being transparent about that if that was already known and not discussed up front?
So you said transparent. I want to say that we have been transparent here. That is why the minute that his lawyers found those documents, they reported it. They reached out to the archives and the Department of Justice, and they did that voluntarily. and they were not compelled to do it. They did it voluntarily. Now, I want to step back a little bit as you're asking me about the timeline. Look, the lawyer said we have been working closely with the Department of Justice and coordinating a search that was still ongoing to ensure any additional documents were in the proper possession of the government. After that search, after the search concluded last night, we released a statement disclosing the facts from that search, as you all know, this morning. This is all part of the Justice Department process, and you heard the Attorney General speak to this today. So we are being very careful to be fully cooperative with the Department of Justice and providing details as appropriate as part of that process.
So why did you fully describe the documents when we were firstly asked this week?
Because, and I actually answered that question. I said because there was a process happening that was currently ongoing, and I'll refer you back to my comments that I made just yesterday. Go ahead, Mary.
So we're going to catch her in her lie. We're going to go right to her comments she was talking about yesterday because, again, he's talking about this rather quickly, but they knew about both set of documents back in December. And here we are mid-January, and, you know, no mention of it during the other press briefing. And she was asked about it. She was asked about it from this reporter going, hey, is there anywhere else that there could be any documents? So she gives this answer here, and just watch what she says. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Thanks, Karine. Just to follow up on Franco's question, given the position you're holding right now, there are no assurances you can provide at this point that there are no other classified documents out there in any other office or normal.
Again, this is an ongoing process, so I'm going to let the process continue. It is being reviewed by the Department of Justice, and I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay, and she really does just leave it there. By the way, you just heard her say, oh, we are being transparent. No, you're not. You guys knew about 2 sets of classified documents for over a month, and you didn't notify the American public whatsoever. And then when you asked a question on a prior briefing, you lied about it as well. And you didn't say, oh, you know, actually there is other documents that were found. You withheld it, you covered it up, and you lied about it. And folks, a lot of this comes to fruition because reporters ask later on, hey, you know, did the DOJ tell you not to say anything? Is this trying to be covered up? Folks, I'm telling you, you got to just buckle up today. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot happening that we got to expose because this one is nuts. Support us by hitting the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Here's the same reporter that you just heard ask, hey, are there any documents that are out there in the ether that we should know about? And she just goes, oh, well, I'll refer you to this or that. Here's that reporter in the most current press briefing going, I'm a little confused about what happened yesterday. You had an opportunity to tell us and you didn't. Let's hear it.
And I just want to square something that Chris was asking about. The review was underway when you guys gave a detailed statement about the first set of documents. The review was underway when the president spoke about the first set of documents. You're now saying that you didn't talk about the second set of documents discovered almost a month prior because a review was underway. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
The review was underway the entire time. The only difference was that reporters had information on the first set of documents, and therefore you chose to exclude the second set of documents until reporters got information on the second set of documents.
Well, let me unconfuse you for a second, Phil. Look, we are trying to do this by the book. And I said yesterday this was under review by the Department of Justice. And the process is as such. When the president's lawyers realized that the documents existed, that they were there, they reached out to the archives. They reached out to the Department of Justice. Rightfully so, may I add. That is what you're supposed to do as lawyers. That's what they did. And they have fully been cooperating with the Department of Justice. And again, I said this earlier in answering a question. You heard from the Attorney General. He said shortly after the documents were discovered, that we did outreach. The president's lawyers did outreach to the Department of Justice and archivists.
Nobody's questioning that. That's not what we're asking about. We're asking about.
I'm telling you that there's a process. I just laid out what the process is, and I'm
about
telling
the
you that
public
we were
process of-
trying to do this by the book, and it was an ongoing process. I'm not going to get beyond that, but that is how this works.
How can you say this
Yeah.
was transparent when you
So that guy goes, can you say it's transparent when you've known about this for like 2 months? Which is 100% true. They've known about this for a while. And what you're going to see, so this all took place at the beginning of the press briefing. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.